welcome to this edition of Dyer's Weekly. Now, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here has returned. It's been on a few days as of this episode being released, and this year I've decided not to watch it. Last year it was in Wales. I really enjoyed it, but a lot has happened in the last 12 months, and my wife and I just decided this year not to put our time into the show, but I do wish all the celebrities the best of luck, and as a result, I will not be doing daily analysis and commentary this year. I enjoyed it last year, just that my little boy is a little bit bigger this time around, and that my time frame on things is a little bit different. My schedule is different, and we've just decided to focus on other things this time around. Might watch it next year. Perhaps the commentary will return, but for now, it won't be. But enjoy, and if anyone has any comments on the show, please do let me know, because you always see bits, don't you? It turns up on social media, so I'll see a little bit. So this week. So I've been watching the Eurovision Song Contest for 10 to 15 years on and off. It's something of a yearly tradition. I love the kind of showmanship and you know, it's a big party. I love the history of it, from ABBA to Katrina and the Waves, etc., 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 right? So I was kind of excited but kind of skeptical to see the Eurovision movie that's on Netflix with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, etc. Right? I was a little bit skeptical on it because I was like, well, it's a Will Ferrell movie. It's going to be a little bit silly, right? And may not do the Eurovision Song Contest justice. If you haven't seen the movie, stop this right now and go and watch it and come back. If you have, you know how awesome it is. I watched it and I plan to watch it again, which my wife will tell you that's a very unusual thing for me to say, certainly as I plan to watch it within the next 2 weeks. It was daft, but it felt like a love letter to Eurovision. Some of those jokes in there were absolutely spot on. Graham Norton makes a cameo, and I couldn't help thinking to myself, it was Terry Wogan that originated the part that Graham played. And that made me feel kind of proud, because I've been watching it for many years, and this kind of encapsulated the beauty of the Eurovision Song Contest. And the whole Fire Saga thing I thought was great. The music was spot on. I love the absurdness of some of the storyline, and it's possibly one of Will Ferrell's best movies, and definitely one of the best movies I've ever seen. I mean, it took turns, and the thing is about some films, I've just watched a couple of films. I'm starting to get into the Christmassy mood, right? And as you know, Christmas films have a reputation for not being the best. Dramatically, narratively, in production-wise, it's very formulaic, right? So it sort of, you know, you don't follow any of the characters. You kind of feel like, I don't know anything. I was following every step of the way of Fire Saga. I was blown away by it. It's on Netflix. It's an original. I want it to come to DVD. I need to listen to the soundtrack. Somebody play Ya Ya Ding Dong. Come on. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Netflix. Bam. That's your evening sorted. Right. I think I'm going to go and watch it again now. So as some will be aware, I do a YouTube channel which is sort of 80% food tasting videos, because in the last sort of 2 to 3 years, I've really got into like watching taste testers, and it made me want to try doing it, because I've been making videos for years, but I guess the idea of trying food on camera didn't really appeal to me, or I thought, who would watch that? And then I realized it was me and people like me. So I started doing it sort of the latter end of last year, and I've really enjoyed it. And I guess I've been keeping a closer eye on what is going on in the food world. And I know that this is news, media, and popular culture, but for me, this kind of goes into the latter category. Last year, off camera, I tried the KFC gravy burger. Now, I'm aware that my audience is primarily American. That's what my stats say. If you don't know what it is, go and look it up. It's this chicken fillet burger with a hash brown with like a little well in the middle of it, and you pour gravy into it and then put it on the top. It is absolutely fabulous. It tasted to me like a roast dinner. I want to say I had a couple of them last year, and hopefully at some point this Christmas I will be trying it again, because KFC have brought it back. And that's a testament, right? Because as far as I know, it's nowhere else in the world. It's kind of a UK invention. And I saw a video from, I think, who's the company that does that? Insider, Food Wars, Joe from Food Wars. If you don't know it, they compare the US and the UK in one series, and they did KFC at Christmas, and Joe in the USA was like, wow, you know, that gravy burger thing looks amazing. It's a UK thing. They should probably roll it out, although people's definition of gravy is different depending on where you are. I look forward to that. I do look around at the festive menus because there's a lot of cranberry. There's a little bit of sage. There's other kind of festive-y, Christmassy flavors. And I guess that's exciting, isn't it? I might try something on camera. I'm not sure yet, because it all depends as to whether I do it or not, and how much time, and, you know, my family and that type of thing, because it does take a little bit of time out. I have to go somewhere quiet and do it privately. But there we are. Go and grab the gravy burger if you can. So I realize that there will be people out there that already know about this, and well done to you, because it took me a long time to discover it. I've only really realized it was a thing in the last couple of months or so, but Audible, it seems, in the last year has launched something called Audible Plus, which means that for your monthly subscription, so whether that be 99p, $3.99, $7.99, alongside that credit that you get where you can buy anything in the store, you can also stream and download books to your library from a selection, which is amazing, by the way. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of books there. I've listened to a fair few, and it's really handy if, like me, you don't want to use a valuable credit on certain things. Like, for example, I've just listened to a book about a makeup artist from the golden age of Hollywood, which I loved, right? It was great hearing the stories within that book, but I probably wouldn't have used my credit on it. The same with the book that I listened to previously, John Lennon versus the USA, which again was very interesting, but I probably wouldn't have spent any money on it or given it a go. So there is that. I've also listened to the Audible version of Wind in the Willows, which was very good, as well as parts of the narrated Michael Hordern version, recorded sometime in the 20th century. I have listened to a great book called Keep Moving by Dick Van Dyke. Basically, right, for somebody who loves biographies as much as I do, it was a chance to listen to stuff I wouldn't normally. And at the moment, as far as I know, it's about 99p for up to 3 months. So if you fancy an audiobook, do go and check it out. You get a free credit with it as well, which you can spend on anything in the store, and there's bound to be something for everybody. Oh, and there's all those podcasts as well that they do, including the wonderful Titting About with French and Saunders. Go check it out.